And what I think is unique about the talk we're about to hear from Sean is that so much of us are coming in either as coaches or therapists, doctors, practitioners, and also participants actively in our own healing and in mindfulness practices. But now this is really about how to teach mindfulness, right? So one word that I learned about teaching is the word pedagogy. And I hadn't heard of this until just about a year ago. And pedagogy is the science and like really the science of teaching. And I think in this mindfulness space, we're going to get a really unique perspective from Sean. And so without further ado, I'm pleased to hand it over to Sean. Again, for people who are just joining, this is a webinar format. So if you have questions specifically for Sean, he'll be addressing those at the end, and you could submit those in the Q&A section. Otherwise, let us know what's up with you in the chat, and we'll give Sean our full attention.
Thank you so much, Ravi, and welcome everyone who's joining us live, and for those watching the recording of this. That sponsor video was fascinating, and I'd actually like to learn more about that offer. I agree that the mind permeates every cell of the body. Mindfulness is not the same as brainfulness or headfulness. A lot of people will say that the mind encapsulates our whole sensory apparatus. I'll touch on that in a little bit, but first I'll just give a brief introduction with my background. So my name is Sean Fargo, the founder of mindfulnessexercises.com. We have over 2,000 free mindfulness worksheets, guided meditation scripts, courses and trainings, all for free. I was a Buddhist monk for a little over 2 years in the Thai Theravada tradition, which is the same tradition as Jack Kornfield. I worked at Spirit Rock Meditation Center for about 5 years, working alongside Jack Kornfield, Sharon Salzberg, Joseph Goldstein, a lot of the people presenting at this conference, actually. I'm a certified integral coach through New Ventures West. I certified to teach Search Inside Yourself, which is the mindfulness program born at Google, and I've taught that at different corporations around the world. I've taught in California prisons, helping inmates find freedom behind bars. I've taught at family retreats, teaching small kids, tweens, teens, parents. I'm a new parent myself. I have an 18-month-old girl, and so I'm continually being put to the test on my mindfulness skills. I worked in healthcare for about 2 years as a chief Zen officer for a healthcare company where I taught doctors around the world how to teach mindfulness to their chronic pain patients, people with trauma and depression and anxiety, and taught a lot of those patients myself around the United States and at conferences. And over the last 5 years, I've been teaching people how to teach mindfulness. I feel like there's a lot of suffering in this world, a lot of stress and overwhelm. And so I've worked with about 600 people how to teach mindfulness in companies, in business, in healthcare, as coaches, as consultants, as therapists, psychologists, LCSWs, and also school teachers, how to teach it to their colleagues and also to kids. So I have a mindfulness teacher certification program that I've been running for about 4 or 5 years now. And so I'd like to share with you just freely some tips that you can do to share mindfulness with others. My assumption is that most of you will have some significant mindfulness experience. But you know, for those of you who have been touched by mindfulness and meditation, who've tasted some of the benefits and profound impacts it can have on your well-being, then I would encourage you to consider sharing it with others in whatever capacity you feel like you can in a safe way. You know, when I first started teaching mindfulness, I think I made just about every mistake in the book. I had already been a Buddhist monk. I'd been a long-time practitioner. I'd worked at Spirit Rock for 5 years, supporting classes and retreats. And teaching mindfulness, it can be intimidating. And so when I started teaching, I had some worry. Like, what will people think of me as a mindfulness teacher? You know, but I don't know all the answers. I'm not, you know, I haven't been practicing for 60 years. I don't sound like Jack Kornfield or Kristen Neff or John Kabat-Zinn. I'm not perfect. You know, what if I say something wrong? And I had a lot of fear and worry. A lot of people have self-doubt and self-judgment when they're talking about mindfulness. And, you know, we want to share mindfulness with integrity. We care about how we share these powerful practices and concepts. And so it makes sense that we are very careful. But when I first started teaching, I became a little bit robotic. And I, you know, to kind of cover over some of my fear, I would present this facade of, you know, that I'm the expert and that I know what I'm talking about. And, you know, look at me, you know, I'm teaching you something very powerful, so you better listen. I'm slightly exaggerating, but I got in my head and kind of went through some motions of what I thought I should do. And I quickly discovered that, you know, as mindfulness teachers or people helping others be more mindful, it really helps to have an ongoing practice, but it also really helps to ground in your body, feel your feet flat on the ground, sensing into how your body's feeling at that moment, and really connecting with the people you're teaching at the heart level. It's really important to empathize with their challenges, get a sense of what is going on with them, and to wish them well, to extend a sense of care from the heart, and then to share mindfulness from this place of this embodied compassion. And so I believe that compassion is the root of all good mindfulness teachings. And that's where it starts, is this raw sense of wishing people well who are going through a tough time. And we all go through tough times, including me, including every mindfulness teacher you're aware of, just about. And so Not to pretend like you're someone you're not to try to sound like your favorite mindfulness teacher, but to really be natural, sense into your heart and into your body, and connect with people from that level. So I think that's really the starting point.